Hello friends, welcome to Success Samrat classes. Our today's topic is the President of India. The President of India is de jure head of the state. It means the President is the nominal head of the country, not the real head. Now, friends, the part 5 of the Indian Constitution deals with the Union Executive. Union Executive comprises of the President, the Vice President, the Council of Minister, and the Attorney General of India. They all are deal under Articles 52 to 151. Now, the president is not the real, but the nominal head of the state. He is the first citizen of the country. So now, what Article 52 says? Article 52 says that there shall be a president of India. If there will be a president, if there will be a president of India, he is going to exercise his certain duties. So how he is going to exercise his duties? It is mentioned under Article 53. Now, what Article 53 states that the executive power of the Union shall be vested in the President of India. He exercised him either directly or through the officers subordinate to him. It means the President of India can exercise his powers directly. The powers given by Constitution of India to the President of India, he can exercise them directly, or he can seek aid and advice of his subordinates, or he can seek aid and advice of his subordinate. Now, as we all know, India is a democratic country. Like president, like prime minister, the president of India is also elected. Now, how president of India is elected? The election of president of India is done indirectly, whereas Article 54 says that the president of India will be elected indirectly through an electoral college. Now, what does this electoral college consist of? The electoral college consists of the elected members of both the houses, the elected members of the legislative assemblies of the state. So, if you can briefly understand that, the elected member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, that is both the house of the parliament, the legislative assemblies of the state, and the legislative assemblies of the Union Territory of Delhi and Puducherry. Now, Delhi and Puducherry, they were added after 70th Amendment in the year 1992. The word state includes the National Capital Territory of Delhi and the UT of or the Union Territory of Pondicherry or Puducherry. So after that amendment, they also participate in the election of the President of India. Now the question arises, who are not going to participate in the election of President of India? So the nominated members of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, legislative assemblies of the state have no voting rights in the case of election of President of India. So now there are certain members which are nominated by the President of India or governor of a state in their respective houses. Even they don't participate in the election of the President of India. Now, where are these members are nominated, or whom President nominates these members to which house? So there are two members in Lok Sabha from the Anglo-Indian community, whereas there are 12 members in Rajya Sabha which are nominated by the President of India. The Legislative Assembly of State has one nominated member of Anglo-Indian community, whereas the Legislative Council of a state is not allowed or never participate in the election of the President of India. So overall, we can summarize it that only the elected members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and the legislative assemblies of the state will participate. S- will participate. Now, what is the principles or principle for the election of the President of India? The President of it is described in the article number 55. The President of India is elected in accordance with the system of proportional representation and the by means of single transferable vote. So in first slide, we came to know who is the President of India and what he does. And here is the image of our first president, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Here we came to know how the second slide we came to know how the president is elected and how his president is elected. What are the procedures? Here is the image of our second president, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. Now, qualifications. There must be certain qualifications which are requisite for the election of the President of India. What are these? These are qualifications. What are these qualifications? So Article 58 prescribes for the certain qualifications. These qualifications include: first, he must be citizen of India. Second, he must have completed the age of 35 years. Third, he must be qualified to be the member of either of the houses. That is, he must be registered as a voter in his parliamentary constituency. And next is, he does not hold any house of profit. So these are the qualifications required for the other qualifications which are requisite for the election of the president. So what are the qualifications? These qualifications are: he must be a citizen of India. He must have completed the age of 35 years. He must be qualified. He must be qualified to be elected as a member of either of the houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the House of People and the Council of States. Similarly, he must be registered as a voter in his parliamentary constituencies. And lastly, it does not hold any house of profit. So, as we all know that the provisions for President of India has been borrowed from the Constitution of India, or from the Constitution of the United States of America. There's a difference between the Constitution. There's a difference between the President of India and the President of US. In India, a naturalized citizen and a citizen by birth can become the President of India. Can become the President of India. Whereas in American Constitution, only person by birth can become the President of India. Only in, sorry, not India, but USA. But in America, only the person who is born in America can become the President of America. Who is a naturalized citizen? A naturalized citizen is a person who has acquired the citizenship of any other country. So in India, a naturalized citizen or a, a person who is born in India, a citizen of India, both can become the president, both can appear or both can contest for the election of the president. But in the case of US, only the natural citizen who was born in US can contest for the election of the president. So these are the qualifications. Now, in what cases the office of president falls vacant? So Article 65 clears it in what circumstances the office of president will fall vacant. The first is the expiry of his term. His term has been completed. He has successfully completed the tenure of 5 years. Second, by his death. Third, by resignation. Fourth, by impeachment. So these are the 4 most important conditions in which the office of the president will fall vacant. Apart from these, if the office of president fall vacant for more than 6 months, then we have to conduct the election of president of India, because it cannot be vacant for a long duration. So in this slide, we came to know what are the qualification of required for the president of India, and the images of Dr. Zakir Hussain. In this slide, we came to know in which conditions the office of president falls vacant. And there is an image of Vara Venkata Giri. Now, if there any dispute regarding the election of president, then who is going to decide? The question arises. So, in a wholesome, only Supreme Court of India can inquire and decide regarding the dispute of the election of President of India. So the final say of the the verdict will be the final say. So Supreme Court's verdict will be the final say, or his judgment will be the final on the dispute regarding the election of the Supreme Court of India. Only Supreme Court of India can inquire and decide upon the disputes regarding the election of the president. So now, here is the image of Justice Muhammad Hidayat Ullah. Now, what are the privileges of president? What benefits does a president get? So these are mentioned under Article 361. Now, the first benefit or privilege a president of India gets, that when he's elected as a president of India, he is not answerable to any court till the tenure ends. Now, under Article 361, during his term of office, no criminal proceedings, no process for arrest or imprisonment or produce before any court. That's what I have said in one statement, that he's not answerable to any court. So we cannot produce him in court under these conditions. And under Article 361, subclause 4, there can be no civil proceedings. There are two conditions: until a notice in written has been given to the president 2 months in advance of the proceedings. अगर हमने प्रोसीडेंट को किसी भी सिविल प्रोसीडिंग में बुलाना है, तो we have to give him a notice 2 months prior to him. Second, the notice states that the nature of proceedings, cause of action, name, residence, and description of the party taking the proceedings, and the relief claimed. It means if president has to be called in court, then we have to give him 2 months notice in advance in written. We have to inform him prior 2 months. Secondly, we have to describe the nature also, in which conditions we are calling him to the court. So the benefit president gets, that he is not answerable to anyone. Now, so this is the in this slide we share the image of Dr. Faruquddin Ahmed. Now, if the president is in office, then how he can be removed? So, the president of India is impeached. Before going into detail of this process of impeachment, what is the condition, or on what grounds the president of India can be impeached? Under Article 61, subclause 1, the president of India can only be impeached on the ground of violation of the Constitution. President can only be impeached on the grounds of violation of the Constitution. So there are no other means of impeachment of the president of India. Under Article 61, it is mentioned that the impeachment of the president is a quasi-judicial procedure. It is not just like the opposition brings a no confidence motion and it is passed or nullified or rejected. So it's not just like no confidence motion. So now we will go through the procedure of impeachment. The first step is this: the impeachment charge against the president may be initiated by either of the houses of the parliament. हम पार्लियामेंट के दोनों हाउसेज में से किसी भी एक में प्रोसीजर ऑफ इम्पीचमेंट शुरू कर सकते हैं, either राज्यसभा और लोकसभा. So we can start or initiate the procedure of impeachment in either of the houses. So the first step is that a charge is prepared. So what is the charge? A charge must come in the form of proposal contained in a resolution with signed by not less than 1/4 of the total members of the House and moved after giving at least 14 days advance notice to the President of India. It means कि चार्ज को लेके आएंगे, कंडीशन लगाएंगे और प्रपोजल ड्राफ्ट करेंगे. उस प्रपोजल को एटलीस्ट 1/4 मेंबर्स को सपोर्ट करना चाहिए और उस प्रपोजल को मूव करने से पहले 14 डेज पहले हमें प्रेसिडेंट को इन्फॉर्म करना होगा कि हम ये आपके अगेंस्ट इंपीचमेंट लेके आ रहे हैं इन कंडीशंस पे. सेकंड, such a proposal must be passed by the majority of not less than 2/3 of the House initiating it. It means if the procedure of impeachment in either house is initiated in the either house, maybe Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha, then 2/3 or 75% of the majority has to support it. Has to support it, or it will be rejected. Now it has been passed by the House. Next step. For example, if the charge is prepared by the Lok Sabha and it is passed by the Rajya Sabha, so it will be investigated by the Rajya Sabha, the upper house. It goes vice versa. So the charge is passed by the charge is introduced. President is informed prior 40 days advance. The president has been informed. Now the House has passed this charge by 2/3 majority. Now the next House will investigate this charged. During this procedure, the president has right to appear, or president can represent himself during the investigation. Now the second House will conduct the investigation. So if the resolution is passed but not less than 2/3 of the majority of the total membership, it will declare the charge against the president brought by the other house has been passed or proved. So from that day, the president will be removed from his office. This is the procedure of impeachment of the president. So here is the image of B.S. Jatti, who was the acting president of India. Now, in this slide, we came to know what are the privileges, what privileges this president of India has. The images of late Farrukuddin Ahmed. Here, in this slide, we came to know how the president of India is impeached. The images of B.S. Jatti. Now, impeachment, I'm repeating it once again, impeachment. Impeachment is a quasi-judicial process required, or the process in which the president of India is removed. We can only remove the president of India on ground of violation of Constitution of India as per Article 61 subclause 1. Article 61 says that that the impeachment is a quasi judicial process. It means it is, it is not like just a no confidence motion. So, how the impeachment is done? So, impeachment can be initiated in the either of the house. Now, a charge must be prepared in the form of proposal contained in a resolution signed by not less than one-fourth of the members of the house and then moved after giving at least 14 days notice in advance to the President of India. Now, such a resolution is brought in the house. The house which is initiating the resolution must pass it with the two-thirds of the total membership of the house. Now, the second house will investigate the resolution. So during this process, the president has right to defend himself or to present himself. If after investigation, the second house finds and passes the resolution with not less than two-thirds of the membership, then it is declared that the charge brought by the first house has been proved. So the president will be removed from that day. So we started with the President of India as he is a de jure of the head. I'm just giving you a summary. In this, in first slide, we just came to know who can become the President of India, what he does and how he does. Okay, a citizen of India can be the President of India and he will be the head of the state. He can directly perform his duties or he will assisted by subordinates and he can seek their aid and advice. In second slide, we came to know how the president is elected. The president is elected through indirect election by electoral college, in which the members of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, state legislature, and legislature of UT such as Delhi and Pondicherry participate. Nominated members does not participate. The principle for election of president is single transferable vote and proportional representation, or proportional representation and single transferable vote. Now, here we came to know about the qualification of the president. He must be a citizen of India. He must have attained the age of 35. He should be qualified to. He must be the qualified to member of either of the house. His name must be registered in the voter list of his parliamentary constituency. Even he should not hold any house of profit. There was a difference that in America, only the citizen by birth can become the president of America, whereas in India, a naturalized citizen and a naturalized citizen and a citizen by birth, both can contest for the election of the president. In this slide, we came to know in what conditions the office of president fall vacant. It is expiry of his term, death, resignation, impeachment. These are the conditions. Now, we came to know if there are certain disputes regarding the President of India, then who is going to decide about it? Then the Supreme Court is a whole authority who can investigate and decide regarding the disputes of election of President of India. Here comes what are the privileges of President of India. The most important privilege is that he is not answerable to anyone or any court. Now, how can be a president of India can be removed? So there's a process. There's a Article 61 says that president of India can only be removed by the process of impeachment, and the process of impeachment is a quasi-judicial process. It is not just like bringing a no confidence motion. It is a quasi-judicial process. What this process here include? This process include, first step is that it can be initiated in either house of the parliament. Second is that a charge must be brought in the form in a form of proposal contained in a resolution, not signed by not signed by not less than 1/4 of the total members, and moved after giving prior a 14 days notice to the president. Now, the house which is initiating this procedure of impeachment must pass it with not less than two-thirds of the support of the members of the total members of the house. Now, it is sent to the next house for investigation. The, the investigating house, during this time, the president can represent himself. Now it is sent to next house for investigation, and after investigation, the investigating house passes the resolution by not less than two-thirds of the majority in total membership of the house, declaring the charge proved. So the president is removed from his office from the date on which the resolution is passed. So this is all about the President of India. Here I end my chapter today. Thank you for the time.